If you've ever bought a game thinking that looks like it will be peaceful and serene, and then as soon as you start playing it, you get your arse absolutely handed to you, then you'll understand my experience when I was playing Mastho is Together, which is a new game released or published by East Asia Soft. They specialise in these cheap and cheerful platformers that come across from PC to console, and this is their latest one. It is what I would term Super Meat Boy Junior because it's very 2D, minimalistic, precision platforming in every way, shape and form, but it's very pared and distilled down. It also has only 40 levels. Those levels are a single screen long, and they also give you checkpoints as you walk through as well. And that's why I'm saying it's Super Meat Boy Junior, because it's like an introduction to precision platforming. Easily the biggest strength for Mastho is Together is the fact that it constantly changes and adds new different challenges as you go through each of those 40 levels. Every 5 levels, a new mechanic is added into the game. So initially you'll be just starting with a jump and a dash around, then there'll be projectiles flying around, then there'll be like floor that will fade away, that type of stuff. And it will continue to build and build and build on all of these mechanics. But it'll always be on the foundations of running, jumping, dashing, and wall climbing by kind of jumping and dashing between things as you go along. Mastho is a sugar-free marshmallow white block for me, to be perfectly honest, but it is very acrobatic, and that is also a good strength for the game too. However, I did start to struggle with some of the controls as it got further and more complicated into the game, and I'll explain why. As you move around on this game, initially you've got either the D-pad or the analog stick to kind of move around with your character, but it's slightly oversensitive, and I felt, and I don't know if it was just me or not, pressure sensitive on the controls as well. And it started to give me flashbacks of when I used to play the F1 games on PlayStation 2 era, and they thought that pressure controls was like a really great thing, and you'd have like really hurty hands by the end of a race. But when I pressed the D-pad on this, and the same with the analog stick, when you was just trying to like touch up to move close to get a precise jump and arc correctly done, the movement of your character was inconsistent and never quite the same every time you just gently press something forward, which to me felt like there was a little bit of woolliness to the way how the physics of your character are designed. Much more crucially than that is that your dash ability works on an 8-arrow compass. And so you can jump and then dash up, down, left or right, but then also diagonally too. And that gives you great manoeuvrability, but it didn't always seem to go in the direction that I'd pressed. And I'd also run into issues where I would press dash and sometimes it just wouldn't register. And I was never sure, because so much of this game is around doing jump and a really quick dash afterwards to dive between 2 spikes. I was never sure if it was just that I was pressing it too quickly and the game wasn't registering it, or if there was a certain time period where it considered that that was a move that was like 2 actions joined together, and therefore because I was too slow it wasn't registering, or something odd like that. But this plagued my entire experience of Mastho is Together throughout. What it then made me do was switch from using my face buttons on my PS4 controller to using the trigger buttons, and I actually found that that was an easier way to play the game, because it let me kind of, like horses like hoof clopping, you'd need to be like didum 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 really really quickly, because it's all jump dash all the way through this game. And you have to go very very quickly, because otherwise you'll die and go back to your checkpoint. So yeah, whilst it is an easy platinum, because you only have to do the first 11 levels to get it, which seems a bit bizarre, you're only just getting past 25% of the game, it does have an awful lot of challenges. I think some of them though are down to controls rather than actual gameplay experience. So it's cheap, it's cheerful, it will give you a challenge, but ultimately for me it also left me with a veneer of frustration throughout about having to wrestle with some of those detections of controls throughout. Written review will be over on highplanegames.com. Hope that was informative. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.